Good morning. It's a nice day out there. I haven't gone out yet, but I looked out the window. Today, we're going to paint a nice day. We're going to paint a little guy, a little boy flying a kite. A red kite. Yep. Got a poem I'm going to read to you from Harry. Oh gosh, what was his last name? B-E-H-M, I think. Bem. B-E-H-M. B-E-H-N. Harry Ben. B-E-H-N. Ben. Anyway, it's called The Kite. And it's a card for somebody. I think this is more for an illustration. What do you think? Like it could be for a children's book. Well, anyway, I want to show you how I did it. It's really simple. I got it done very quickly. So here we go. Good morning. It's Monday. 6 days into May already. Is that just hard to believe? So it's a pretty simple composition today. Little boy running with a kite. Have you ever flown a kite? Have you ever not flown a kite? Everybody's flown a kite, right? So, and if you haven't flown a kite, you should go fly a kite. Do you remember when, if you're old enough, you might remember when people used to say, go fly a kite, as a way to say, get out of here. Go fly a kite. Or go jump off a bridge. What did the people used to say when they didn't want you around? Go fly a kite. That's funny. I guess it's kind of a nice way to say get out of here, even though nobody wants to be told to get out of here. So yeah, this is a little boy running. Gotta make sure everything is kind of very minute here. I have somebody in mind for this card. Somebody who likes being free. That's what this is to me. It's about being free. About running and being carefree. I was with Robin's family the other day, and her little grandson is 5. And he was just running so fast. I mean, very fast, faster than me. There's no way I could keep up with that guy. But just running, and I videotaped him running. And then I set music to it from Forrest Gump. Do you remember that? That one famous line, I guess, run, Forrest, run. Well, that's what I was hearing in my head. Run, Forrest, run. So, anyway, I should go fly a kite. When you go to the beach, it's easy to fly a kite because there's so much wind at the beach. There we go, there's our little guy. And we're going to have his kite. Let's see. I think I want to make it a red kite. Let's see if I have a picture of a kite up here. Yeah, this one. Oh, it's an easy thing to draw, isn't it? It's just a triangle basically flying in the sky. Just a flying triangle. Really not a triangle. It's kind of like 2 triangles together, isn't it? There we go. That's it. That's the whole thing. And then the tail, which don't really need to draw in there. Alright, well that was easy. 3 minutes into the video, we got the basic sketch done. Now I just got to get the landscape part of this, which I'm going to just use a simple hill here. This is going to be the foreground hill. It's easier to run downhill, isn't it? Well, not when you're a little guy. When you're a kid, you can run any hill. You're good, up and down, doesn't matter. As long as it's not that steep. There's a poem I want to share with you, written by Harry Ben, B-E-H-N. And it's called, appropriately, The Kite. Yeah. So that ought to be good. I'll read that to you in a moment after I sketch this. And then, of course, what comes to mind is the Mary Poppins song, Let's Go Fly a Kite, right? You know that song. If you know it, it's probably in your head right now because I just said it. Probably in your head. There we go. So the kind of the bulk of the landscape goes that way, and of course we'll have some grass here, and we'll see how that all works out. Okay, well, let's do everything but the kite and the little boy, because I think the little boy should be, I don't know if he's silhouetted or if he's lit. We'll think about that. Today is supposed to be a nice day weather-wise. I heard it was raining in New York yesterday. I still have some family in New York, and I still pay attention to the weather. So I'm trying to not get any water onto the kite itself, because I want to keep that as bright red as I can. Just get some sky colors in here. Just get that paper a little bit wet. It doesn't have to be soaking wet. And go ahead and start adding some blue. The poem mentions that the sky is blue. Let me put in the sky, and then I will read the poem to you. It's interesting if you're a poet and somebody finds your poem like I did, that your poem, the work you did whenever, I don't know who Harry Ben was, I should look that up, but his work is now being read. It's going to be read by me in just a minute. And if you think about it, if you're a writer, or if you're a creative person, an artist, I guess this would apply to artists, wouldn't it? That even long after you're gone, your work is still reaching people, it's still affecting people. That's pretty cool, right? And think about the words in the Bible. Like thousands of years later, we're still talking about the stories in the Bible, still talking about them. That must be what God wanted. I think people are very good with stories. You can watch a movie, let's say on Netflix, right? And turn it off and forget that you started watching it, or maybe something else happened, you had to go do something or whatever. And then in the course of the day, somebody tells you their story about their weekend, and maybe there's a little story going on in a TV serial that you're watching, or maybe you're reading a book, or maybe all of the above. And you're able to keep up with all of those stories. When you come back to that Netflix movie, like even a week later, you're fine. You know what's going on, unless you fell asleep like I do. I always fall asleep. I always fall asleep when there's a movie on. I don't know why. I'm good in a movie theater. I don't know what it is about being home and getting sleepy. I'll put a little bit of gray in here. Just a little hint of something different in the sky. Give it some contrast. Oops, that might be too dark. No, I'll spread it out. I'll let the water do the trick. I'll let the water do the magic. Yeah, just let the water spread it out. So we're very good at stories. You probably have some movies books and personal stories maybe that you've heard or that you lived. Well, if you lived it, it's kind of different. If you heard it or read it, that's different than if you lived it, I think. I think your own stories are different. You know what else I think people are good at is faces. We're really good at faces. You can, when Facebook first came out, there were some people who I hadn't seen since grade school, elementary school. And they had Facebook pages. And either I found them or they found me. And I knew right away it was them. I knew right away. I hadn't seen their face since they were a child. And now they were considerably older. So was I. Not only was I older, but I had a beard. So you would think it'd be hard to recognize me, but they all did. It's incredible. Alright, I think that's enough of that blue sky. It's got enough of whatever's going on in it. So now, let me just go for some light yellow for the grass. Where's a good yellow? This foreground grass, I want this to be yellow, and then we'll slowly work in the greens. Still not sure how I want to do that boy, so I'm going to keep him unpainted for now. I promised you I would read that poem to you, didn't I? I'll do that in a moment. It's funny how when you first start a painting like this, how very loose it looks. I know that you're a painter. I know that you're an artist. Most of you are, and if not all, all might be the better word. Do you ever like take pictures of your art as you're like in progress, and then look back and say, "Oh man, I should have stopped there." That's how I do that when I do these videos. Sometimes I will look back at the video and see how the painting looked like early on in the painting, and I feel like I should have stopped. It was really good back then before I kept going. I think this is the green I want. Yeah, I want to take that yellow, and I want it to gradually become green. So I'll start putting green down here, and then hopefully the water can do its thing. See, it's buckling. That's what happens when you put water on one side and water on the other side, the top and the bottom, and you're not really making it uniform. It starts to buckle like that. It buckles anyway. You could tape it down. I could tape it down. You probably tape yours down. I don't know. I think that I need to watch some people's videos to see how they do their videos with art, because I think I'm not doing it as well as other people, the video part of it. I think they have their camera set up differently, or maybe they have a different camera too. That could be. If I get this green here, and we'll come back to that and get it darker. I just wanted to do that. All right, let's let it dry. And while it's drying, I want to find that poem and read it to you. It's called "The Kite" by Harry Ben, B-E-H-N. I actually found two. Let me read the one that seems to be the more common one. Harry Ben, B-E-H-N. Hold on, let the car go by outside first. The truck. I can't see what it is, but I think it's a truck. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail, then soars like a ship. With only a sail, as over tides of wind it rides, climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. When string goes slack, you wind it back and run until a new breeze blows, and its wings fill and up it goes. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new, but a raggeder thing you never will see when it flaps on a string in the top of a tree. It's kind of funny. And it kind of has a conclusion that makes you chuckle and see that this beautiful thing had a dismal ending. So the other version I found starts the same. Let me read it to you. How bright on the blue is a kite when it's new. With a dive and a dip, it snaps its tail, then soars like a ship with only a sail. As over tides of wind it rides, climbs to the crest of a gust and pulls, then seems to rest as wind falls. And at this point the poem changes, and the rest of it reads like this. It tumbles and veers, sails free, then careers, again as it follows a wind that blows, up where the gulls are riding the breeze with the greatest of ease, till it dives once more at the end of the string, level with me, loops the loop, turns on itself like a swallow at dusk, falls headlong down, recovers and climbs, and starts all over, as if some invisible hand tossed it a coin with the word forever. Now, isn't that a very profound version of that same poem? I don't know the story behind why there's two versions of it. And then I found this quote from Benjamin Franklin about kites. He said, "Let your kite soar high. You never know how far it might glide." Yeah, that's from Benjamin Franklin. That's kind of cool. I like that quote. All right, now let me get back to the painting. It looks like it's dry. Dry enough. It's dry enough. Dry enough. Try to get out of this stuff on the computer. I had the poem brought up here, so I could read it to you. Okay, it looks dry enough. Now we have to put the background mountains on there, and let's make them maybe a blue-green, or maybe a blue-green and brown mixed together. Let's see how that works out. Yeah, that looks good. That'll work. Little dark areas and light areas. Make sure there's some hint of sunlight hitting that over there. Go ahead and take the yellow green. Get some of this area back here green if I can. still not sure about the child, what I'm going to do with him. I kind of want like a little pattern of light, dark, light, dark. So light, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, dark, light, and then light again for the sky. So again, we have to wait for it to dry. I guess I could put the kite in there. I guess I could put some color into the kite. What color would it be? A kite? A red color? I think red is probably a good color. Just seems like the perfect color for a kite. Yes, that looks nice. Bright red. Bright red kite. I was at the beach one time, and there was a young mother with her little girl. And the little girl was trying to fly the kite, and the mother, of course, was helping her. And the kite just wasn't going up. As much wind as you get at the beach, the kite was still not making its way up there. Here's the tail. Yeah, and she was helping the little girl, and then I took some pictures of them, and of course later on I was looking through my photographs and I thought, well, that would be a nice painting, so I did a painting of them. Well, I'm having a hard time getting away from that red. I'm trying to make this more of a brown here. Let me add some green to that. I'm trying to brownify it. Brownify. I made up a word. Brownify. So I have a memory of flying a kite. I should go get a kite. Gosh, I keep thinking about it. Talking about it. I have a memory of flying a kite of years ago. It was probably, I think I knew what I was doing. I think I was working at the newspaper. I worked at a newspaper for a while. I think it was in those years. So that would have been 1976. You know how I remember that? Because the newspaper put out a bicentennial issue. And the bicentennial was 1976, of course. Yeah, that's how I remember it. So I flew a kite. I had a girlfriend, and we went someplace to fly the kite. Being my girlfriend has probably not been the easiest thing in the course of my life. Everybody who I ever knew, being my friend might have been weird, just because I always wanted to do weird things like fly a kite. They all wanted to do stuff like go to bars and stuff, and I wanted to fly a kite. That's probably why I didn't keep girlfriends. So anyway, I got a kite and I flew it. And I flew it near a cow pasture, and the string broke. And in my mind, I pictured that it landed on a cow, and maybe even hit the cow in the eye. This didn't really happen, but I was imagining this. And I said to my girlfriend, "Did you hear that?" And she said, "What?" After the kite flew away. She said, "What?" I said, "Did you hear the cow?" She said, "What cow?" I said, "There's a cow field over there where the kite flew to." She said, no, I didn't hear the cow. And I said, well, he said, my eye. Yeah, she didn't stay my girlfriend for very long. I just wasn't cool enough. I've never been cool. But now I'm Papa. Maybe I'm cool to my little grandson. Maybe he thinks I'm cool. I don't know. Well, he's 5, so he probably does think I'm cool. Give him a few years, and Grandpa or Papa will be so uncool. It's okay. It's okay to be uncool. The Cool Grandpa. What kind of a movie would that be? The Cool Papa. Cool Papa. What kind of a movie? That'd be one of those silly movies, right? Boy, I'm really just working this. You think there should be trees in this picture? I don't know. I feel like I just wanted a child running in the field. I'm going to have to add something because it's a little on the plain side. On the plain side. One time, way before we had personal drones, Robin and I went out. Now see, Robin doesn't mind that I'm not cool. I don't think. I think she's okay with me being dorky. Dorky. But anyway, I had this little camera. This is before drones came out. And I had this little cheap camera that I got from like one of those discount stores. And it was actually able to record video. And so I taped it to a kite with the intent of flying the kite and videotaping whatever it saw, whatever was out there. And when we got and I had a dog at that time. So after I watched the video, after it flew, it was so haphazard, just flying everywhere. It was not smooth like a nice drone like you have today. These beautiful drone footage that you see all the time. Trying to put a little bit of personality to this background here. Maybe there should be a few trees or something back there. Let me do that. So anyway, the dog, you could see the dog in the video. Just every once in a while, the camera would aim at the dog. And you could see the dog just having a good time sniffing the ground. Where we went to do this was like an old, not really old, but it was a dry, I used to call them reservoirs. People call them water retention areas now. But anyway, whatever you call them, you know where the water goes. But there was no water in it. So it was a big open area. Yeah, this is okay. Put these little trees here. I think this is working. Let's go fly a kite. Up to the highest height. Let's go fly a kite and send it soaring. That's from Mary Poppins. There we go. And over here too, probably should be some more. See, I think now the painting is telling me what color or how to paint the boy. I wasn't sure how to do the boy, but I think the boy needs to be light, and the kite and the background needs to be dark. So that's where I'm going to go with this. Let's see what I can do there. So now that I kind of made my mind up about that, I can make this darker. Let's see. The grass needs to be a little bit, whoops, gotta get that green back on the brush. How am I gonna do this now? I think I made the boy's head too big. You make it smaller. Oh, I made it too small. Alright, we're going to have to lift some up. We're going to have to use this water trick. Let's lift up this. There we go. Just lift it up. Here we go. That worked, I guess. Might have to paint the boy with, maybe I could paint the boy, let me think about this. Maybe I could use pen and ink, make him dark after all. Oh, we'll see. And this foreground grass definitely needs to have some more definition to it. Let me spread that out. Get some more definition to the grass. Get it green. Very pretty. Whoops. Sorry, I hit the camera. Didn't mean to do that. Well, let's assume the sun is coming this way. We can put a little bit of a shadow there behind the boy. Yeah, a little bit of personality to this grass here. Just make it a little bit, give it more texture. It's kind of cool that one layer is red. I really didn't want it to be red, but it looks okay, I think. Okay, now, what to do about that boy? Let's start with his pants. Let's start with his pants. Make sure it's He's running like Forrest Gump. Run like the wind. Run like the wind, little boy. Let me try the orange trick, see if that helps with his face. Not sure if it'll work for that. Give him a little bit of hair after that dries. Make him light blue here. And try to keep the shirt bright in the front where the sun is hitting it. more darkness to his hair. Well, if I had made a little girl, I could have given him long hair, but I didn't. That's okay. I want it to be a little boy. He's just running. Now, what do you think? I think the line itself, the string, should be visible, at least a little bit. So I'm going to use. I think I'm going to use the pen for that. I just want this to be an open field with no obvious trees where the kite can be caught. Now, if I could lift some of that paint from the front of his face, just to make it brighter. Yeah, I gotta let it dry before I do anything else. Let me add a little bit of shadow to the kite itself. A little bit of, instead of it being pure red like that. Or maybe just let the water pick it up and make it brighter. How about that? There we go. That's perfect. And then a little bit of darkness for that shadow on behind the boy. Let that dry like that. I think we're almost done. All right, now I'm gonna take a chance. Take a chance. Let's see if this works. A very light line. Well, I can't undo it because it's ink, but you can see it now, right? Maybe I can put that the frame of the kite in there. You know what? I'm going to consider it done. I feel like if I mess with it anymore, it'll take something away from it. Like I said earlier, when you videotape these, the videotapes where if you photograph your work, sometimes you say, why didn't I stop sooner? So this is going to be one of those times where I stop sooner. And the boy is still wet. So I don't want to fold it yet. I'm afraid it'll start dripping down. But let me go ahead. I'm so tempted to fold it, because this is going to somebody who's a very free spirit. And that's why I want to give it. Here we go. Here we go. Sometimes it's incredible how quickly the paint dries. All right. There's the card. Looks nice, huh? Hey, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and share. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.